Good morning and welcome to the Laws of Business Breakthroughs, hosted by Bamal Shah, the CEO of Raj Parth Achievers. Let's get this Monday fired up. How are you, Bamal?
Awesome. Great. Thank you for having me here.
Okay. So, what is the good word? Today, we're going to be discussing the laws of negotiation. And actually, I just wrote an entire course on this. So, this is going to be a really interesting conversation for me. So, talk to us, Bamal. What do we need to know?
Well, negotiation is every day. Yeah, even without you knowing it, you could be negotiating. For example, if you go to Starbucks and you're buying a cup of coffee, if you're not nice to the person you're buying it from, they may not get your coffee done right. So negotiation is every day in every phase that you're doing. You have to think about how you come across and what's the best interest of the other person, and you don't want to give in to your offer. Like, let's say, if you many times, negotiation is associated with price. Like, okay, if this is my price, this is my fee, this is my rate. The other side would want to negotiate or bring it down or offer you or make you a counter offer. So there's a difference between bargaining and negotiating. Bargaining means somebody just wants to lower your price. They really don't see like the value of what you have to offer, and they want to pay less, and they feel good about being paid less. Hey, I walked out of the deal saving some money. This is what I got the bargain for. Negotiation, on the other hand, is you understanding the other side, presenting your value, and then asking for your price. Does that make sense?
Yeah, for sure. It absolutely does. And I guess the key is you really want to be engaging in negotiation and not someone just trying to beat you up on the price.
Absolutely. And the best piece of how to negotiate is to understand the obstacles. So many a times, I've seen so many deals, so many sales pitch, or so many sales process. Well, I didn't get the sale because it didn't fit the budget, or they wanted to shop somewhere else, or whatever the obstacles are. This wasn't a good fit. You need to present and overcome those obstacles before you even present your offer. So once you're on the same page, and to get on the same page, you got to create the page first, right? So you create the page with the obstacles. You create the page and say, okay, is the budget going to be an issue? Is this going to be a challenge? Is this going to be, are you okay with this? You present that before, and then you try to overcome that. Most people who feel that this is not a good price, this is what happened, and you try to present that. So you remove the obstacles beforehand. On the other side, no could be the real yes. Okay, no could be the real yes. So, for example,
That happened to me last week. I thought someone was saying no, but they were just bartering. They were just negotiating. But then they wound up saying yes. I was almost, but they, I almost felt really rejected because I thought they were saying no. Because they asked me, they asked me if I would handle compensation in a certain way. And I said, no, I can't. You have to, there's a program and this is the way it works. And I really thought they were going to walk away once I said no. And they're like, okay, we want to do it anyway. I said, okay.
nah, that's cool. So, like, for example, when you ask the question, would you be against moving forward with the payment today, or would you be against doing this today? So that actually, no. Okay, so then you're ready to move forward. Okay, let's move forward. Okay, so sometimes when you ask the question, for a yes, they kind of go into a silent mode and you don't get a response. But when you ask the question for a no, you get a faster response. So no could be the real yes. Also, during this whole negotiation, it's about making the other side feel understood. And I'll tell you this from listening to the top negotiators, Herb Cohen, Chris Voss. And Chris Voss actually negotiates with hostages and kidnappers and terrorists. So imagine the type of negotiation, he has to do. And one of the things that he mentions is listen, make the other side feel understood. You go in with your agenda, they're not going to listen. So understand their agenda, understand, what is in their mind. Listen to them, ask questions, make sure they feel that you feel understood. Like, make sure they feel that, okay, you understand them. And once they feel that, you can move on to the next steps. And you don't want to split the difference. Many times say, we run into cooperation. And, if three of your ideal customers and, similar customers that you're in front of. So if you're in front of a customer or prospect and there's an issue on the price, and three of the exact similar type of customers have paid you what you have asked for, then your price is right. Many times people feel maybe the market does not accept what I have to offer because the market is paying me this, and maybe this is what they will pay me. But if there are other people who have paid you that, and they're in the exact similar type of profile that you're in front of, that type of customer, then your price is right. Your price is fair. You don't have to negotiate.
I agree. Well, I think that's one of the places where people also struggle, but they don't set their product price correctly, I believe. But, it's all subjective. I also believe you have to stand in your power and stand in your value. And I constantly ask myself, am I charging enough? I truly believe the amount of time that it takes to properly service a client, it's a very time consuming process. So I am struggling with the difference. Not struggling. I'm creating a process for the difference between an automated client and a customized client. And those prices are going to be different. If you can go through automation, you get one price. But if you still require hand-holding, customization, design, then there's going to be a different price. And we have to educate our customer as to the reasons why one package may be more expensive than another. Do you agree with that?
Absolutely. And the best way to educate the customer on that and on that customization is to what's the value of the result that we're delivering. So instead of you putting a price tag on your services, it's going to take me 10 hours to do this. My hourly rate is this. This is what I would charge. You're coming on from what you are offering, not from what they want to see. Especially in marketing, many businesses, when I work on the marketing aspect, they're frustrated because, well, we have paid marketing people so much money, but we haven't seen results. And I don't believe it's worth paying because, everybody wants a monthly retainer. Everybody wants a monthly fee. I want every month you to pay me X, and, the results will take a year. And business owners will say there are other people who just deliver results on the spot. So if you have a process and you can, clearly put the value on there, say, listen, I'm going to take and I'll give you a clear example. Let's say I'm going to take your traffic. Your website is about eyes, emails, and cart, which eyes means how much traffic comes, how many emails you capture, and how many people buy your stuff online, right? That's a cart. So if I can take your eyes from, let's say, 100 a day to 1,000 a day, okay, that's a 10-fold increase in the number of visitors to your site. That has a real value to the company because then they can say, okay, with 100 visitors, we're getting X amount of sales. With 1,000 visitors, if we stay at the same ratio of how many people buy our products online, it will go to X. And that way you can justify our process for you to get to this end result is a 3-stage process. It takes you from this time, this many months to do it. Now you can put a price tag. Okay, you're going to get sales of X. It's going to take you 6 months for us to build this process, 3 months to build this process, whatever that is. you can put a price that in comparison to the value that is being delivered.
That's true. I agree without a doubt. And there's also some items in marketing though that are priceless, which is the development of the brand trust. Sometimes it can take a year just to build the brand trust by creating consistent content and building the attraction of customers to the elegance, to the reliability of the brand before you were even able to start selling. And that takes time. And it's something like brand trust is a very difficult thing to measure because it's literally like building a house. It just, you have to build that house. And it usually can take a year to 2 years just to build the brand credibility trust before the sales start to flow.
And that is true. And let me, but at also same time, you can measure that as well. So let me give you an example. And I created the brand strength index, which I was actually when I was in college.
No way! That's amazing.
I created a whole formula and algorithm. Now, brand is buying reflex affecting now decisions. Okay, so like for example, let me explain that. So let's say somebody comes up to you in a restaurant and asks you a question: would you like a drink? And you say, I would like a Coke. Okay, so the buying reflex is you're thirsty. Affecting now decisions is I would like a brand Coke, which is like that's what will quench my thirst. So you have to think about, okay, what is the buying reflex that makes people get into doing and affect getting your product or service? And what is
the buying reflex? What is the buy? This is fascinating. What is the buying reflex?
So I give you an example, like the buying reflex for Coke would be thirst, right? When you're thirsty, when you're in a restaurant, you would like a drink. So buying reflex leads to a drink, and drink leads to a brand, which is Coke.
Okay.
So it could be similar thing. Like, for example, I'm hurt. Okay. I need a Band-Aid. Band-Aid is a brand, right? Band-Aid is a brand. I'm bleeding. Okay. Let me get you Neosporin and Band-Aid. Okay. Let's get you Neosporin and Band-Aid, right? So those are two brands that have been associated with
I see. To build I get it now. It just soaked in. You are such a genius. You guys don't even understand how lucky we are to have this content every Monday. This is the way to start the week. This is the way to open the brain with Bimal. Right. Open your brain with Bimal. So we all want to be the Coke of the thirst reflex. We don't want people, when somebody says, I need a business coach, we want them to say, I need a Bimal.
Right.
Everybody needs a Bimal. And we have a couple of questions from the audience. We're going to come back to this buying reflex conversation, but Joey has a question. Joey Lewis is a member of the Laws of Life networking group. Okay. There's a reason Joey's watching this webcast right now. It's because he's also a friend. He comes to the networking group. This is what just a quick side is people that are going to watch your content are going to be the people that you connect with.
Absolutely.
So the question is, do you believe public companies are private companies' worst enemy?
So nobody's an enemy in terms of in business. I mean, it's capitalism. Public companies go public because they have reached a stage where they're able to raise capital, and private companies choose to remain private, or many times they are private because until they want to get to becoming a public. So, just like you cannot, make a profile of an individual, of a person who's wearing a hood is African American or Black, right? You cannot put a profile of someone just like that just because they are wearing a hoodie.
Because they're public or private.
But yeah, similarly, you can't do the same thing in companies. You can't do the same thing in companies, because like, you make a profile of people, or public profiling, whatever you call it. You can't do the same in companies. Business is business. Business has a certain methodology, and there may be antitrust laws on how companies are working, but there are laws for that. There are procedures for that. And if certain things happen, then they can go through the procedures. If somebody's, violating an antitrust law, or they're monopolizing a system, or they're becoming, the leader where they're killing the competition, then there's a process for that. But in general terms, you have to look at it individually. You have to look at each company, each business individually, and understand that company and not generalize. And I would say scan the QR code, just like, we talked about buying Reflex. I have the word grant associated with many people. When they think about grant, they think about me, because, hey, Bimal knows how to get grants for business.
That's right. And I just sent you a person that hopefully you can help. All right, let's go to the next question. Dora says, what is Dora? She's got a lot of comments. Her first comment is, it isn't enough to get viewers or followers. I find I get many, but they may be young foreign men that are enjoying steamy pics I am looking for. So what's your opinion on followers? Quantity versus quality.
So, I have to say, you don't have to be successful to be popular, and you don't have to be popular to be successful. So getting likes and viewers and followers, does it convert into money? The question you have to ask yourself, if I have 1,000 followers in my Facebook, Instagram, how much money does it make for my business? So in that case, you have to understand, who do you want to serve? Who are you after? And I would say, people who are trying to build an audience, first try to build their 5-star prospect list. 5-star prospect list is an ideal target list of prospects that you want to focus on. Once you focus that these are the 100 people, these are the 500 people, these are the 1,000 people I want to target, then you reach to them online and offline. Make them like your page. Even if 10 out of those 100 people like your page or like your thing, instead of having 100, those 10 are extremely valuable, because those 10 are your ideal prospects. So it's right. Not getting your number into up on likes and followers. If you want to be popular and want to have 1 million likes, that's a different agenda than having to say, I want to make $1 million. Those are two different things.
Well, the art of business and finding your business breakthrough, it's very much a complicated process with a lot of different puzzle pieces.
Just the website starts with the word "the oneyearbreakthrough.com."
Oh, let me edit that. So basically, the bottom line is this: you need someone like Bimal to help you navigate the tools, because everybody has a different business, but the puzzle pieces are the same. But Bimal helps adapt those puzzle pieces to your model and help you find the fastest strategy to your goal. So if your goal is more followers, that's going to be one strategy. If your goal is more money, it may be a completely different strategy. Is that correct?
Absolutely. And you may get your entire business from, let's say, 10 to 15 strategic alliances. Okay. You may not need to spend a lot of money on this or that. Let's say you have 10 people who consistently feed you referrals in business. Yep. that are in line with what you do, and you have great connections. You meet with them, you build that relationship, then that's a different strategy. Okay. So you have to understand what is in my business, and one of the things unique I do, and they can scan the QR code. There's tons of tools, free resources, all that.
Yes.
It's a great resource for people. Is that, mass customization. Imagine building a business where you can customize for everyone.
That's my dream. That's what I'm doing. I mean, that's basically what I do at the Laws of Life. It's customization in multiple niches. But I'm working with Bimal to help me navigate the waters of building my own brand, Because if there's one thing for sure, you cannot do it alone. You need a team around you. You need an objective strategist like Bimal. I highly recommend you work with Bimal. He's such a pleasure to work with. He has so many different tools. He's so innovative. His energy is so calming and helping you get to the right answer. So Bimal, what is your number one law for today? We've talked about a lot of different topics. What's the most
Teamwork.
important thing?
Teamwork. I could not disagree more. This webcast, this podcast would not have been possible without you. So I thank you. So the team of us working together is making this happen. If I didn't have you, this wouldn't be possible. So again, I'm not good at all this stuff and an expert at doing all this. You are. So this is where teamwork comes in, and working together and collaborating. So I would definitely, and the one thing I would say, the first year in the business, 3 months into my business, I hired an assistant. So that is absolutely essential.
I love it. And Dora, thank you for your question. We love your question. So who had the best question of the day, Dora or Joey? Who's getting a copy of your book today, Bimal?
Well, you know what? They were equally good.
So they both get the book?
Yeah, tie. How about this?
All right. Dora and Joey, you both
send me their information, or they can email me, or they can scan the QR code and I can email the digital book.
Okay, so what you can do, guys, is email Blanca at lawsoflife.shop, and I will send an introduction to Bimal, and you'll send him your address, and he can email the book. So there you go, Joey. Look, Joey's excited. He says yes. And Dora says, thank you for addressing her questions. This was a wonderful conversation. And this is what made today's show great. Dora and Joey, our listeners, and Bimal creating this content, asking questions, helping one another, listening to each other. This is what it's all about. So Bimal, thank you for a great show today. I have a million more questions to ask you. So come back next week, every Monday at 9. And remember, tomorrow is the Laws of Life Networking Group at 11. And that's another place where you can say hi to Bimal and be in a breakout room with Bimal and other hosts like Sunny Arfa in the real estate room, Mark Siegel in the health room, the Lifehouse Project Samantha in the Lifehouse room. Let's go. Let's get fired up. Let's make connections. Bimal, have a great day, and thank you.
Thank you. Make it a great day. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.